Hello YouTubers, welcome to my third video on installing horse stall mats in my garage gym. I'll give you tips, tricks, and what to look out for as you install these horse stall mats. I'll also talk about why I selected horse stall mats as the right flooring for my gym. As always, if you like this video, please subscribe. It's really important. Thank you. Without further ado, here's the review. So here's my first tip for installing your horse stall mats. Measure your garage several times. Really try to get a sense of how many horse stall mats you need, how they're going to be laid out, how your garage looks. Do you want to lay them out horizontally? Do you want to lay them out vertically? Do you have extra ones you need to cut? I think that's really important to figure out before you go to the store and you spend lots of money and then you end up getting too many or too few. The next part of that tip is definitely to count out how many you'll actually need. Here you can see I needed 14 mats, and then you see 7 that are sort of cut in half or edge pieces. So those are what I really needed. Now I had 4 horse stall mats that were used, so I used those for the edges, and I ended up buying 14 new horse stall mats to fit in my garage. The next step is to actually find 14 horse stall mats. Much more difficult than it actually seems, but I found out that this Tractor Supply Company store located near me had a new pallet being delivered. So I went ahead and bought 14 for a total of $675.52. Before you begin, you'll definitely need the right tools of the trade. You can see what I used for my horse stall mat installation right here. Pretty much I used a serrated knife for those really small corners, a yellow or white colored pencil, a utility knife, which I used for all the major cuts, measuring tape. I used a T-square to try to get the lines as straight as possible, and then I used a 2x4, and I think that's really important. You want the knife to do the work when you're cutting. These are really thick, really heavy, so I used the 2x4 to sort of prop up the horse stall mat and use the weight of the horse stall mat to sort of open up the seam as I cut. And I let the knife do as much of the work as possible. Here you can see the before picture. I had purchased 4 used horse stall mats from a local CrossFit gym that was shutting down. I bought each of them for $25. I used them for a while just to make sure the barbell doesn't hit the cement, and we just sort of used them in the gym here and there. So I had those 4. And I have about a 400 square foot garage. Now I'm going to share a time-lapse video of me cutting my very first piece. I did get better over time. I think it's really important when you do this type of work to definitely measure twice and cut once. So I spent quite a bit of time measuring, making sure everything was straight. You would think that with 4x6 horse stall mats, everything lines up, everything's perfect. But some horse stall mats are a little bit bigger, some are a little bit smaller. So, it takes a lot of measurement to get everything right. So here you can see how I'm using the 2x4 to sort of lift up the edge of the mat and put it in. And I cut these pretty tight, so I wanted to really squeeze them in edge to edge. So I ended up using that 2x4 to sort of pound down the seams, pound them into the corners, and get a really nice tight fit. You can see that here. There were definitely a couple times where I had to cut a little edge off just to get that seam to fit right in. So after about 5 or 6 hours with a couple breaks, this is what my garage looks like now. One of the things that you want to be careful about or watch out for after installing your mats is definitely the rubber smell. I definitely would recommend keeping your garage open, airing it out. It'll probably take several days or even up to a week or so before that rubber smell goes away. I ended up spending a total of about $800. So there was $675 for the new mats, $100 for the old mats, and about $30 to $35 for all the equipment I needed. So it took a while, but I think I'm really happy with the results. Please subscribe, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and click the bell icon to be notified of future videos on my channel. Thanks.